Merch Minds podcast, episode number 84. My name is Glenn.
84.
This is Young.
Hello.
And special guest as normal today. But this interview, I think, was one of the better ones. You know why?
It was
Graphic
fun.
designers just talking.
Yeah, it's fun, right? It was a fun show, a fun interview, and we'll talk about the guest here shortly. But as always, man, let's just get into the numbers. You want to go first?
Sure. Numbers. Last 7 days, 172 products sold, 4 returns, and estimated royalties 573 and 35 cents. And let me see. I think I've maybe sold like 12. Other days have been, I guess, 18, 20 range, but most of them have been Father's Day shirts.
Okay, and we'll get into that because here's my numbers. Last 7 days, 167 shirts sold, 6 returned. Product purchases $3,344.33. Estimated royalties $832.84. So my numbers are going up as predicted. But here's the thing, right? I mean, I've been saying this on the podcast for months. Last June was my best month of all time, right? And so it doesn't surprise me that my numbers are going back up. What sucks is what's going to happen after June, and I know my numbers are going to drop, and that's what sucks, right? And you mentioned Father's Day, so that's one of my big niches right now. Um, is that I have a bunch of Father's Day shirt. Um, they do really good year round, but obviously during the month of June it just takes off. So things are looking good. Again, I'm just a little scared that once June is over, I'm going to be back to my normal, 8, 15, 7, 20, 3. This is going to be all over the place, right?
Well, here's the
So,
interesting part about it, though, is that right now, June, as far as like the other platforms go, like on eBay, most of the time people are like going out of town, family vacations, doing different things. So they're not necessarily spending money. But on the Merch by Amazon side, it's like kind of the opposite because people are looking to buy t-shirts and stuff for gifts, not
mhm,
really like the other random physical eBay goods, I guess. So it's
right.
kind of like they've been totally different right now.
Yeah. So June's definitely taken off for me. Numbers are looking solid. Um, let's see. I currently have a shirt that's at 11,000 BSR,
Dang.
and it's getting lower and lower. Um, I, and you know what? I shouldn't have said that. Now I realize that because every time I say something like that, I jinx myself, and then it starts going the opposite way. So I probably just ruined my whole freaking business just now.
Have you
Uh,
seen any other, I guess, anybody try to come in and compete with you, or you've been pretty good, solid on that
I've been
one design?
I've been good. Well, see, the thing is, like I said, my design's been up since last year.
Oh, okay.
Like, right? It's been up. Like I said, they sell year round, but because they're dedicated towards Father's Day, they take off in June. And because my shirts already have reviews and they have the whole algorithm, of being on merch for the longest, it seems to do better than other people.
Yeah.
So June is looking good. Just a note, I got a message from the people at OrbitKit. They currently have 5 slots open. Okay, so if anyone wants to get in on board with OrbitKit, message me and I'll send you over to the folks at OrbitKit. So dude, check this out, man. And I talk about this in the interview. But Mike Wall, he
Hmm.
has that course. He's like the king of local merch. I'm in his Facebook group, right? And I did a logo for one of the guys in there, kind of like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, word got out that I did his logo, and I'm getting all kinds of messages from people. Hey, man, I heard you made so and so's local merch logo. Man, can you do mine? So I'm getting a lot of freelance work doing that, and then I'm getting people saying, well, since you did my logo, can you also do T-shirt designs? T-shirt designs are out of the question, man. And I'll tell you why. No, because I'll tell you why. Here's the thing, man. Because people have these unexpected, these unrealistic expectations. You know, oh, I want 20 designs for $3 a pop. Just that's just not gonna fly with me. Okay, so if you guys are messaging me to do T-shirt designs, that's out of the question. But if you guys do want a logo for like your local merch or whatnot, contact me. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. Everyone's happy with the logo. So I've been doing that. Thanks for the business, everyone that's contacted me as far as that. But I'm still staying busy, man. I told you that I'm designing. I'm back designing again, using Penji. Brother Hacks has come through on certain occasions. I still got to reach out to my university, man. I keep saying that, so maybe I'll do that sometime this week. How about you? What's going on with your merch?
So I got like a couple of stories. Number one, I had this like shirt that I made maybe like 8 months ago.
Is it
And the very
something you made or your
beginning,
brother?
no, that I made, and
Okay.
it sold okay in the very beginning. And then when I started doing more research about on it, I was like, okay, here's a pixel by pixel copycat, undercut me by $2, and then it like sales just stopped from there on out from that one shirt. So and then this so what happened was I ended up submitting the form. I did everything else to get this guy off, right?
Hmm.
And it never happened. Like I submitted the thing to Amazon and then they never took it down. I tried again and they came up with, I don't know if they've done this with you, but it comes back where like you have to submit more info or they're asking me more about it. And I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I
Hmm.
did that, never heard anything. And then this design was still on there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make other designs. I'm going to move on, whatever. So this month, I was like, why is this shirt? I guess this shirt's finally selling. Fine, for some weird reason, maybe this guy ended up copying somebody else and they finally took him down. So now this one shirt is selling again, and I've sold 10 this week. So
Nice.
all I needed was this one guy to be gone, which I probably just could have kept on over and over again. But finally, I guess he messed up, and then now my original one is on there.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are getting on merch for the very first time, and it's kind of ironic that we're talking about this because our guest is doing the complete opposite of what we're telling you. But if you guys are doing like parody and like pixel by pixel copies of other people's stuff, man, look, chances are you're gonna get banned at some point, and it's like, are you in it for the quick buck, or do you want to make a long-term business out of it? Okay, I mean, if you're looking for the quick buck, keep doing what you're doing, man. But at some point, you are gonna get caught, and that's just how it is. And
I'm
because I had,
happy about,
what was that?
happy about that. Finally, like
Yeah, no,
took it down.
because I had the
And
same thing happen to me. Like to this day, this design is my number one bestseller. Like this design, I've sold the most out of all my designs, right? And the same thing had happened where I found a pixel by pixel. This scumbag not even copied pixel by pixel, but he copied all the keywords. I'm like, you're so damn lazy. You can't even come up with your own description. Um, so I submitted that to Amazon, and I was getting the same thing. I was getting like that generic response saying, "Oh, we need some more information." Da 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 da. I submitted it like about 4 or 5 times. Nothing, I was getting the same response. And I just kind of gave up.
yeah,
But I went back and I looked like a week after, and it was gone.
nice.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
tough out there.
it is, man. It is.
The
Um,
second part was that
yeah.
I made um so I made some original designs and I was trying to see how I could, you know, scale up using the same design, different type of like words and topics and
Sure.
niche, even though it's around the same design. So After laying all of them out, I think ended up with like 235 of them.
Hmm.
So this last 3 days, I just sat here, final PNGs on all of them. So now I have to upload all 200 whatever. So I'm ready to go. I just
Nice.
had to go through the whole thing.
Nice. So it sounds
Yeah.
like you're getting back into things, man. It sounds like you're designing, you're doing things. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. Look, I had even people ask me, they're like, "Yo, I don't think Glenn's really interested in doing merch anymore." But it sounds like you're getting back into the swing of things, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I mean the I guess the big thing for me was like I was really doing everything that I could, and especially outsourcing. And then the suspension, of course, I was like, well, I'm gonna
That was a
try
big
to
one.
build
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna build up my eBay because I need to make money regardless. Like,
Sure.
so when that happened, um, I just designed here and there a little bit, and then I was like slowly just getting into it a little bit more. But and then even this last month, I haven't really started designing, getting into it until this like last week. You know, I had
Nice.
like a whole month off also from the trips because they were like back to back, that Florida DC one. So I didn't even upload anything for a good while. But yeah, now that I have a little bit more time, I'm also not going anywhere this month. I was like, I really want to get back into like the better design quality wise,
Hmm.
not necessarily going for the quantity when it comes to like the I guess the text based. Um, I'd rather just let's see what happens when I go back to like the better designed ones, and then take my time and then go from there. So these that I've been working on, especially this whole set, is all based off of like one design that I took at least like hour and a half, 2 hours on, and I
Nice,
was like,
man.
okay, let's try to see how I could try different words and see if it still makes sense, and then we'll throw it on the market and see what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, he might be back. He's
Yeah,
back.
he's here, and he has a new haircut too, so I'm
And he
ready.
has a new haircut.
Ready.
Looking good. Hey, let me ask you, man. This is something that I've been wanting to ask you, okay? When do you get a lot of friend requests on Facebook?
The random friend requests on Facebook.
Do you accept them?
No, not all of them.
Okay. So here's the thing. So I get on a regular basis I get friend requests on Facebook, and I'm kind of like you were in the sense that I don't really accept them. And I made a promise to myself, and it's not me trying to be arrogant or anything, but I'm no longer gonna accept friend requests from people, um,
That you
unless
don't know.
yeah, that I don't know unless we met in person or had a voice conversation, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I'm doing that is because I mean, with the whole prank calls that I've been getting last month or two, it's just it's there's a lot of people out there doing stupid stuff, and it's just I want to know who I'm going to become friends with on Facebook. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Unless we meet in person or we have a voice conversation, just a fair warning to everyone: don't send me a friend request because I'm not going to accept it. It's not because of you. It's just again, I'm just trying to protect my privacy. If you guys go back a couple of months ago, I was getting all kinds of crazy prank calls, and that's stuff that I'm trying to avoid. Um,
And you'll see it too that like I don't accept it, and then like a week later it ends up being like a fake account.
oh,
Like things
really?
like this happen. Yeah, so then I'm kind of like you know skeptical about all of them that even come in.
Right. So again, guys, it's not me trying to be sound, oh, well, he's too good to be. It's not even about that. It's like, again, in the past, I would accept friends, and all of a sudden, I start getting these phone calls, and it's just, again, I'm trying to avoid that. Just a couple more things before we get into the interview. Anna Hartzog, I don't know if I pronounced her last name right. I'm probably butchering her last name, but she's someone that I met when they had the Southern California meetup. Oh gosh, what was that? Back in a couple months ago. Anyway, she didn't ask me to do this, guys, but her husband just passed away from cancer, and so a few of us, Matt, Christina Romero, I'm sure I'm leaving out some names. We all got together and said, "Hey, let's try and raise some money for her because she was she's basically living on her merch funds right now." So we thought it would be the best thing to do to help out Anna. Um, So we created a GoFundMe page. If you guys can, maybe donate $1 or $2, because it's just, look. I've said this 100 times by now. I think the merch community is really special. And we're not asking you guys to donate 100, 200, $300. If you guys can donate just even $1 or $2, please go do that. She does have a couple of kids, and she's going through some difficult times right now. So let's try and come together as a community, help her out. I'm going to donate something here as soon as we get done with the podcast. Again, I'll have that link in the show notes. But it goes back, and this goes back to what I was talking about before on the podcast. This is one of the main reasons why I want to move to Southern California, right? Is, again, look, guys, my parents, Glenn, and I know I talked about this a lot of time, and you guys are probably sick and tired of hearing about this, but man, like when I saw my mom, dude, she had aged so much, man, it broke my heart. And I want to spend my time with my parents, during their final years on this earth. And I mean, for the most part, from what I could see, they're healthy, but they're just getting old. And I know at some point they are going to pass. And I want to try and spend my time with them. That's why I'm working so hard on merch and on other things. And my boss, if you're listening to this podcast, maybe reconsider letting me work remotely. She, you know what? She never even said no. She was just like, whatever. That's why I want to move. My heart is set on moving to Southern California. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. But let's get into today's show. We have Manny Pinetto. He's a graphic designer, someone that I met in Los Angeles earlier this year. And he's doing something really, really different, something really unique. He hasn't found success on merch. Okay, so you know, don't get it twisted. Just because you're a graphic designer or a professional artist like Eric Rosner, you're not going to find success, right? There's a lot of different moving parts to be successful in merch. So Manny, he's like, well, F merch. I'm going to focus my efforts on doing my Printful store. And I won't get too much into it. I'll let him explain what he's doing. But the guy is doing like anywhere between 6 to 10,000 a month on Etsy, which is just on a part-time basis, and that's what's driving me crazy. So let's talk to Manny. Hey guys, so we have a special guest. I mean, look, all our guests, every time we have a guest, they're all special. He's actually a good friend of mine. We became really good friends. We met back in January when we were at the Merchella conference in Los Angeles, and yeah, we linked up. We went to Las Vegas together. We got an Airbnb together. Unfortunately, RJ was with us that trip, and we actually did a show with Manny Pinetto. That's our guest today. We actually did a show, and he briefly talked about what he does. But I wanted to invite him back on the show and just kind of talk to him exclusively about what he does, because he does something very unique. And not just that, I mean, he's also a fellow graphic designer, so he knows what goes into doing stuff like this. So Manny, welcome to the show. Tell us about yourself, your background, where you live, and all that.
So let's see. I've been a graphic designer for like 15 years. I mean, a little bit about myself. I mean, like, I'm self-employed. I used to work in the corporate office, and I quit and just took a gamble and a risk. And like, it started off with one freelance client, having them been able to pay my bills, and then from there, just kind of gained more freelance clients. And then I found out about merch, and dude, the rest is history. Then Etsy, just like, I just got tired of working 9 to 5, like everybody else. You know how that is, Young, with the whole graphic design. It's just like the morale is just low. It just sucked. I mean, it was just a paycheck, and then at one point you have to say enough's enough. Either you move up to the corporate ladder or you just do your own thing, and that's what I did. So I just kind of got into merch. I'll be honest, my merch sucks. I'm not very successful at it right now, but the plan is to really, really find my niche, find whatever, whether doing local merch or just, what I try to do with my current freelance client is I try to upsell them on merch. I've got like three actually now, but I'm not making that much money off that. So
right.
I just kind of use that as like, all right, it's an add-on thing. Like, because what I do mostly, it's packaging and ebooks. Like for my,
right.
So I have I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, for the record, you showed me some of the stuff that you do as far as packaging back in January. And Glenn, man, he does good stuff, dude.
I'll send you my link. I think Glenn checks again. You guys can check it out, but it's not. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. It's in the fitness industry. Like, I've been in that game for a while, so it's kind of my niche for my design.
Right. So speaking of merch, man. So you said that you haven't found that much success in merch.
No.
And so it kind of goes and shows you that it's not easy. I mean, here you are. Yeah. You're a professional graphic designer. Professional meaning that you actually get paid. Doing that. And you haven't found success. Why do you think that you haven't found success on merch?
I think my keywords suck, or I think no, the majority I think is I overthink things. Like I just overthink. Yeah. Like I'm a very the stuff that I do now, like with my clients, like it has to be perfect, because what has happened with me is like I try to be as perfect as I could, and that usually ends up with a referral from a former client. So that's how I kind of get my work, is just all through referral. Like I have a portfolio link. It's not up to date, but it's all through referral. Like I put a lot of effort into customer service, adding little bonuses. Like if I do an ebook, like I'll throw in like ebook mock-ups so they can promote it on their Instagram. So, it's just little things. Yeah, I could make more money by upselling that, but I just tend to just be like, you know what? I'll give it to you for free. And they always end up coming back. Like I have
and you and I talked about this, right? Yeah. We talked about this because Glenn, you don't know this, but I'm in Mike Wall's local merch group.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've been getting a lot of I'm not going to say a lot, but I've been getting a few clients to do their logo, right? They're like, hey, Yong, I know you're a graphic designer. Can you make me a logo for my local merch business? And so I've been getting some clients through them, and it's the same thing what Manny said, right? Dude, I've talked about this, right? I don't have a portfolio site, right? I've been employed for the last 13, 14 years. There's no need for me to have one. But dude, I'm pumping out these logos for them, and I'm going above and beyond what they expect, and they love it. And dude, like Manny said, I'm getting referrals. People are I'm not going out there advertising myself, and I'm getting referrals. And I just got another guy message me last night. Hey, I heard you're doing logos for everyone in the merch group, the local merch group. I'm like, yeah, man, send me what you got, and I'll take care of you. But yeah, no, definitely customer service. But yeah, man. So merch hasn't really worked out for you.
Nah, but I have faith that I'm gonna keep at it. So what happened was I wasn't really successful with merch, right? And I started doing Etsy, and that took off. That just took off. So most of my energy is going on Etsy right now.
Right. And well, first of all, Glenn, do you have any questions, man?
Well, I wanted to, I guess, go back. I think a lot of people, as far as like graphic designers go, or artists, like why they might kind of struggle, I guess, with merch, just because it's also like, like niche research. You said the keywords. Like, I mean, being an artist, you want to do the art stuff. That's like the fun part, and that's why you want to do it. Not really the whole thought and thinking of what are people buying and why do I have to make this commercially right for this particular thing. And when you're not really designing something you don't really want to design, that's where I think it's kind of like, well, not really enjoying it type of thing. Kind of like with Eric, like he's, when we interviewed him, all about cartoons, doing art, and then kind of like on the opposite side, I mean, don't really care about the whole keyword and research and all that.
Well, but it goes back to what Manny said, right? Sometimes, as a designer, you're like a perfectionist. Because here's the thing, man. Like I've spent hours, if not days, like on one design. It won't sell, and then you make some freaking cheesy ass T-shirt with some booty ass text, and all of a sudden you're selling like 50 of those, like every month. It's for some reason it seems like, and we've been talking about this on the podcast, just simple sales, and I think sometimes as designers we do tend to overthink the whole process, right?
Yeah, you want it to be perfect, and that's also why you get those same people that ask, like, well, if you're gonna make a design for me, how can I guarantee it's gonna sell? You don't know, because a
you don't know exactly.
Quick design that you made might sell, and then maybe the one that you took hours on may or may not sell. Like, we don't know until it hits the market and go
exactly. Because I have a shirt that I spent, oh man, I spent like 2 days on it, right? It was, everything was hand drawn. I sold a few during, in December. I haven't sold one since, man. But you know what? So I'm at that point where probably stuff like that is probably better, like on another marketplace like Etsy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think merch, it's just got to be, quick and simple. But speaking of Etsy, man, so the reason I wanted to, again, I talked to Manny a couple of weeks ago when we were in Las Vegas, but I wanted you to come back and dedicate a whole show to Manny, because so merch hasn't worked out for him, but he's found success on Etsy. And he's not doing the Etsy Printful integration. He's doing something a little more unique. Why don't you tell us about what you're doing? And you could be discreet. You don't have to tell everyone exactly what you're doing, because I know you want your stuff to be private. But so what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm not trying. Yeah, like I'm doing parody stuff, and it's like but it's all original art parody. I'm not like, well, I mean, let me rephrase that. How would you say parody is stuff that's obviously you're parodying like either pop culture, sports, whatever. But I do a pretty good job at nailing the parody, and I think that again, emphasizing on good design. And the stuff that I do, no one's doing it.
No one's doing it. I've seen what you're doing, and
yeah, I would say what I do. I would say what I do, but I mean, like, I already know it's gray area. So, is this going to be a long-term goal or long-term business? If I don't change my ethics, my business ethics, whether establish a brand from that, then yeah, it's going to die. And that's my end goal, is to take the parody stuff, and I just came up with like a cool company, like a cool branding logo for myself. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that I can attract those customers into buying that at a later date, and eventually having my own brand. I mean, like, I've been following brands like Johnny. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like Johnny Cupcakes. They're pretty big on parodies.
I was just gonna mention them. Once you said parodies, I was like, exactly the one I was gonna mention.
So I'm pretty much doing kind of exactly what he's doing, dude. Like this, like whatever the way he's doing, like the way his formula is like, that's what I'm kind of for. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. I've actually met him, went to his seminar. Super cool dude.
Nice.
Yeah, I've actually met him, dude.
Is his real name Johnny Cupcake?
Well, it's that's the name. That's the name of his company. And Glenn, if Glenn knows, he could probably tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, he's like one of those guys that, like, he's always been into like pop culture stuff. Even back, we've talked about like sports cards and stuff before, but he's always been about that, and he just did it his own cupcake style parody on pretty much everything. And then his shirts are very like limited, so like if it comes out at a certain time, you're not gonna be able to get it later on unless maybe you get it through eBay or something like that. But it's like very limited things. He has pop-up shops, and then if you go to like some of the stores, they're shaped like a bakery and things like that. Like,
see that makes sense, because that goes into my next question / comment, which is, dude, so Glenn, I'm sure Manny will show you some of his stuff after the show, but I've seen some of the stuff that he does, and it's really cool. It's really unique. Definitely something that I would rock. But he does a pop-up shop on Etsy.
Yeah. So
freaking once a month. Tell the folks that's listening what you do, and then these guys question it.
No, well, like April was like a really good month. I think I had like 10K sales. My profit was about 7,000, probably around there. If around there, 6,500, 7,000. But what I did was, so the vendor that I used to make these, he's from China, so he has a minimum. So I kind of made it like, you know what? Let's see what I can do. So I made it. Oh, before that, I had samples and I reached out to a bunch of brand ambassadors, actually like 5 brand ambassadors. Had them, like I sent the product for free, had them take pictures on Instagram, and from that point, it blew up.
Wait, so, what does that mean, brand ambassador?
You know, like brand reps. So
okay.
Yeah, like I found like it's like an IG influencer in the niche that I'm in. I don't know if that makes sense.
I got you.
So that's one thing that I totally forgot to tell you that, yeah, so it's not even about me. It wasn't all organic traffic. I kind of pumped up the product. I kind of created a buzz. And then I had people be like, when is this going to release? When is this going to release? So I just said, I'll release in a month. And then when I hit the live button on Etsy, like within, I would say half an hour, I had probably like 25 orders.
Within half an hour. That's nuts.
So I'm not selling t-shirts, and it's like a high-end product, so my margins are high. Like what I sell is roughly around about $100, $95. And
guys, I just want to let people know the reason why being secretive is because not that he want. I mean, I'm sure if he wanted to, he would share it with you guys. But the problem is, there's a lot of you guys. You know, you guys start snooping around. You'll start, you'll find his store, and you'll start harassing him, and that's what we're trying to avoid here. And then some of you guys are going to be like, well, why are you guys even doing the show then? It's to encourage you guys to think outside the box. There's other ways to make money doing merch on other platforms. But go ahead, Manny.
Yeah, I mean, like basically, like if everybody would Google like Johnny Cupcakes, I think once you see what he does, you can get a pretty good idea of what I do. Yeah. That's basically a reflection of what I'm trying to do.
And what about I guess these brand ambassadors? How much did you have to pay them?
I didn't pay them anything. I just sent them free product.
Okay.
Free product. Because see, the thing is, and what set me apart, because I'm sure they get hit up with like, yo, if I send you my T-shirt, etc., can you, would you rep it? But this is a unique item that within that community, no one sells it.
Yeah.
So they're like super pumped, kind of like they're the first ones to rep it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense. So from them point, that helped me like just create a buzz. I have an Instagram for the brand, so they got to see quality. I'm sure that's another thing too, is like when you have pictures of people actually wearing the product, it's a different whole story. You can create mock-ups, it's not gonna sell product.
Yeah.
And the fact that they already have an audience to market to, that even makes it even better. So I targeted like roughly like 5,000 to 10,000 followers on their accounts, and all of them were super cool, and they were down with it. So I used them to kind of create the buzz, then drop the pop-up shop. I mean, like within the day, I think I probably had like 50 orders.
Jeez.
Like, a pop-up shop is only limited to like, it's only here for a limited time.
Yeah, like so
he does it for a week, dude.
Okay,
I did it for a week.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so I did it for a week. So I said, hey, just letting you know that this product is only going to be available for a week on Etsy. And then I close, after the week's over, I close the listing. And what I do is I customize the product to how they like it. And that's the one thing that sets me apart from everybody, is I can customize it to the colorway, to specific stuff. Like I can do it. It's a custom product made for them, tailored to them. And then no one else does it. So it's like,
right. So just to reiterate what you just said. So you have a pop-up shop on Etsy. Well, first of all, you go on social media, you leverage social media, you create the hype, right? You letting people know, hey, this is coming, this is gonna drop here in about a week. Make sure you save the date, whatever, right? You create the hype, everyone's on board. You open up shop. It's like freaking Black Friday. People are crushing each other to order your products. They're hitting each other with bats, and then they order your product, and then after that week, you shut it off, right? And then what that does is it creates that urgency for the next time that people want to order. You know, the next time that he opens, that they're going to be the first ones to line up, which is smart. And like I said, he you know, there's a market for what he does. He you know, and it's cool stuff, man. That's awesome, man. So let me ask you, man, why 1 week? Why don't you do it twice a week, like every other week? You just want to create that scarcity.
Yeah, like so that one piece of artwork that I released, I could apply it to different colorways. So this was just one design. So what I'm doing is I'm upscaling and doing multiple designs, and I'm relaunching the brand like in July. And I have maybe like 16 new designs that are coming out, and it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So I've been mocking it up, like posting it on social media, and I get messages every day like, when is this coming out? When is this coming out? When is this coming out? Like, it's crazy, dude. Like, I'm like, so then July, I'm like, I'm releasing a bunch of new stuff. And I already had, like, dude, I had people sending me like, yo, can you, like, can I send you an email so you can reserve, like, you know? I'm like, what, dude? Like, it's nuts. Like, it's crazy.
Is like a design gone after your pop-up thing to like, is it going to come back later on or?
No, I just open for a week and I close shop. And I think what happens is like somebody finds out about it and then like, oh, I'm going to wait till next time.
Yeah.
No, but I think what Glenn was asking though is like, so let's say you have a design that's being sold in January, right? When your shop opens up again in February, is that same design being offered, or is it a complete new design?
Same design. The way when I started is I just kind of like, this design's available in this color only. Then the next time I open, I added another color to it.
Okay.
And then another. So then like it just kind of was different. But now like the last orders that I did, I can tell they're low, but like I can tell like people are already like, okay, that I already created enough buzz with that one design. So I just started designing a bunch of new stuff, and I'm just waiting to get I'm getting samples this week, and then like taking pictures and just starting like create a buzz. And then in July, that's when I'm going to relaunch again. And I'm going to do everything pop up, same style. Like I'm going to open for a week. And if you get it, cool. If not, you either wait. I'll probably do it actually every 2 weeks, because it's kind of hard to go every once a month. Because sometimes like that one time I opened for the month, like it was a lot of work. Because what I do also is like I provide a mock-up with the colorway the way they want it, so they can get a good idea how it's gonna look like. And then like so I go not just selling whatever I'm selling, I go one step above and I mock it up for them, and they're just completely blown away. They start posting the mock-up on Instagram, and then to me it's just like a win-win situation. Like they're spreading brand awareness.
Right. So and dude, when you first told me what you were doing, I thought for some reason that you were drop shipping everything, but you're ordering everything in bulk, right?
Yeah,
and then you're shipping it out yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I thought you were drop shipping from all the way from China.
No. I do quality. I also do quality control, so I check everything before I send it out. It's a little tedious. Yeah, it's a little tedious, but my margins are so high that I don't mind doing it, because it's, you know, it's good money. Like in my opinion, it's better than selling a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
but it doesn't take me long. Yeah, like I have a full-time freelance gig, so at night that's when I do everything, and you know, it's just extra income for me. But yeah, but most importantly, it's fun. Like I have a good time. Like it's a niche that I'm passionate. Yeah, it's a niche that I'm passionate about. So that's another thing too. Like,
and you know what, you know, there's people that they're probably listening. They're like, oh well, he's doing parody. Look, it's like you told me freaking earlier in the week, Manny. It's not like he's selling drugs or anything, right? I mean, come on. At the end of the day, you know, he did mention that he's going to branch off and eventually do his own thing and create his own brand. But right now, the guy's trying to survive. Okay, it's tough out there. It's tough out there. Okay, Birch ain't working out for him.
I live in California, man, so it's pretty expensive over here.
It's pretty.
Like,
It's nuts out here, man. So speaking of merch, man, I know you and I, again, we met back in January, and we talk pretty regularly now.
yeah.
And we've been talking about doing local merch. How's that working out for you?
Well, so on my freelance clients, I try to upsell them on that. I got 3, 4 maybe, but it's not. It's okay. Like I think what I need to do is target people that advertise, companies that advertise. I think Mike Wall, that's his key. Is like, don't waste your time with these little small shops. They're not gonna care. Like I did this one for his gym, and I thought it was gonna lead somewhere, and the guy can't even return my messages. It's like, oh, all right, yeah, dude, but
that ass.
Nah,
I was gonna say something a lot worse, man. But
it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think, dude, there's money to be made on merch, man. Everybody has their like. It's crazy because like people that are not even like designers are having so much good success, and I've never been the guy to hate on anyone. Like,
I'm hating on everyone that's doing that.
Respect
I'm hating on all those people.
Nah, it's good, man. Like,
no,
hey,
I'm obviously joking.
Yeah. But it's good to see people succeed, dude. I think it's awesome. Like, that's one thing I don't do is I don't complain. I'm not on the Facebook groups saying like, oh, I can't get any sales. Like,
yeah, dude, you're not really. I mean, you're in the groups, but you never really. I never see you post or I never see you comment, man.
I'm a little silent ninja. I just kind of see what everybody's doing, and like,
Yeah.
I'm not one to brag, man. Like I'm not here to put my numbers. I'm not bullshitting or anything like that. Like,
for the record, Manny never approached us to be on the show.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to do the show.
Yeah, I asked him. He's like, I don't know. And I was like, yo, man, come on, just come on the show. And so Manny, just wanted to say he's a very humble guy. Very low key, very nice guy. So are you, by any chance, uploading still to your merch account?
No,
I mean, I know.
I just been focused on Etsy, man. Like, like I haven't. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not gonna like BS people. Like, it's just once I get these new samples and new designs, then I have faith, like 100% faith that it's gonna blow up. Like, people are like cocky. I'm just confident, and just based on like the feedback that I've been getting from everybody, like it's gonna do good. And then once that goes, then I'm gonna definitely go back on merch.
Yeah, because I think I mean here's the thing. I mean,
I'm very careful with merch, so
yeah, it's just I think you should at least have some kind of routine, even if you're not gonna upload on a regular, like on a daily basis.
I mean, like, yeah,
I mean, like once a week, or maybe like once every other week.
Yeah, no, in Vegas, like we talked about, like hiring an illustrator as opposed to a graphic designer, and that's probably what I'm gonna do. And I've been kind of looking like on Behance, on DeviantArt, like just kind of scoping to see if I can find someone from the Philippines that's willing to be like, yo, I'll pay you a monthly salary if you can produce X amount per week. But
right,
because my area, like I'm okay with illustrations, but I'm not great. I mean, you've seen the stuff that people are pumping out. Some of the stuff is awesome. Some of the stuff is just garbage. Yeah. I think merch is garbage. People buy like. I would never wear some of the stuff that people.
Hey! Keep your voice down, dude. You know we got freaking Amazon listening to the show, and you're over here talking about them like that, man. You shut your damn mouth.
But there's people buying it, so it's good for them. I'm just talking in the aspect of. I mean, both of us are all graphic designers, right?
Hey, I'm just kissing ass right now, okay?
Yeah, I know you are.
That's all I'm doing, okay? That's all I'm doing.
I was actually going to tell you the complete opposite of what Yang was saying, like. Because looking at, I mean, I know what it is, what you're doing, and it looks super fun. And like what you said, having
Did he just send you the link?
Oh, well, yeah, but I've seen it. But I know what you're talking about. I've seen what it is. It's super fun. And like what you said, you feel confident about it. Looking at it, I know it has that potential definitely to blow up. And I would rather go all in on this and like not even do half-ass merch if we know this is going to succeed. Like, that's the way I would approach it.
That's exactly how I'm doing it. Like, I'm not trying to put all my eggs in one basket. I'm
absolutely
pumping. Smart. I mean, all right. So Glenn knows what I'm doing, and he can see. Isn't it very similar to what Johnny Cupcakes did early on?
For sure.
Yeah. And then not just that, but a lot of stuff that he did early on, kind of Warner Brothers saw the stuff that he was doing, and they approached him to do a licensing official release. Like he kind of would just do a limited amount, 100 T-shirts, and whether it was inspired through like Warner Brothers, even Disney. What else? Like I think he did. I'm trying to think what else he did. I think he did Tiny Toons, right? I forgot, but point is, he had people hitting him up like, "Yo, we like what you're doing. Let's work together."
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, rather than I'm sure he got cease and desist letters. You know.
Oh, I'm sure.
And early on he did, and then it's just his fun twist. And then the product that I have is something that's not out there, man, and it's good quality. Like eventually those designs I want to put on T-shirts too, but right now, like I'm just focusing on that particular product, and I'm just seeing where it goes, man. Yeah, like Glenn says, why focus doing half-ass merch where you can focus on something else, build it. Once it's successful, then that's when I'll start focusing on like merch again. Like like once that's
but you still have designs up.
Yeah,
uploaded.
I mean, like I think I sold like 4 this week. Like it's not.
Oh, this guy's balling.
Yeah,
balling.
And I think another similar one is Ilthy. It's like from Cleveland. He does kind of like parodies of like basketball type of stuff like that. Like
what's it
kind of like cartoonish. It's called Ilthy, ILTHY. It's from Cleveland. He's a graphic designer too, and he's kind of like trying to build his own brand with like parody stuff. But Johnny Cupcakes is like to the extreme to where this guy is just like out of control at that point.
Yeah, man. But
yeah, you guys all need to check out. Like, if you want to get into parody, dude, that's a great example. Like, great designer. Like, I think he outsources most of the designs, right, Glenn? Like, it's all it's it's incredible, the stuff that he's done.
I mean, that's just another testament to how you can make money, right? I mean, think about it. This guy Johnny Cupcake, freaking, he's not even a designer, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do a parody stuff and slap it on a T-shirt, and yeah, that's just, man, dude. I mean, the age that we live in now, man, it's like, I mean, merch is obviously a blessing for many of us. But with the technology, I mean, everyone can find success in their own way. Like Manny has found success doing the Etsy business, man, dude, you're doing good stuff, man. Keep us posted how you're doing, because I mean, think about it, man. If this guy's doing 10,000, 6,000 a week, imagine what his business would be like if it was like just was open for a whole month. Hey, have you ever thought about doing this? Like maybe opening up your shop for like a month and then taking the other month off.
Well, the thing is, yeah, I mean, I could do 1 month, but the thing is, like, I gotta see how it goes in July when I release all the new stuff.
So July is like the big month when.
Yeah, that's when I'm releasing a bunch of new stuff, and I have a lot of faith, man. Like, I think like what I'm doing, yeah, it's gray line, it's parody, depending how it does. Like I know that this is not a long-term business model, like,
right.
But I'm trying to, find.
You're just trying different things. That's all.
Yeah, man. Like, I think, like, I'm not gonna complain until my merch is not working. Like, I'm not selling. Oh, I found something else. I'm taking my skill set and coming up with good design.
Right.
And it helps that Instagram's awesome because that's a great platform to promote, man. Like, it's just like most of my business comes from Instagram.
That's just.
I mean, the organic traffic that I get on Etsy is cool too, but the majority of it, like 70%, 75%, is all like social media.
And just doing like the right tags, the right keywords, and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Instagram guru by any means, but like, yeah, I think having the right hashtags, and then I don't have any bots. I don't have any bots either. Like, it's all like all my followers are all organic based. Like, it's either early. I've done some like some other small shops have hit me up and they're like, "Hey, you want to do a contest with us?" I've done those, and I've gained followers that way, but it's not the bulk of my followers.
It's all organic.
Yeah, like you'll get 200-300 followers if you do these sales, but I don't know. Like now, I'm just kind of like I'm doing my own thing, kind of creating my own buzz. Yeah, dude, just trying to get my next thing is like trying to get my product into the right hands, into a good IG influencer, and from there, I think it's golden. You know, like I think it's
dude. Why don't you hire me and Glenn as influencers, and then you can, 10x as Anthony would say, 10x yourselves. Nah, I'm joking, dude. If you hire me, dude, you will freaking lose money. Nobody follows me, man.
No, the majority.
Nobody
well, you know how Etsy is. The majority that purchase from Etsy, it's all women based. Like it's crazy. Like the stuff that I sell, like they buy it for their husbands or boyfriend. You know, it's like
absolutely,
it's a gold mine, dude. Like if you can, especially if you can upsell another product where they both can wear it, like a couples thing, like it's awesome. Like I have a couple of pictures on the couples promoting my product or and nothing but good reviews. That's another thing too, man. Like I know like my vendor has messed up on stuff and like I'll take the loss and I'll send them a new product. Like, yo, keep that. I apologize. And if anything's wrong, like I return, I'll give them another product.
Yeah, you take care of the customers.
It's it, man. And then from there, it's just word of mouth. Like, because the majority also too is like, oh yeah, my friend bought something from you, or he purchased something. And it's just you create that buzz, and knowing that your friend has it, and you've seen the quality. That's another thing too. Quality, man. Like, yeah, it comes from China, but it's still like I tested it out before even putting it out there, man. Like I'm not gonna like. I was very, very skeptical. I'm sure people do. South BA get products from China all the time, and they're pretty low quality stuff. So I wanted to make sure that whatever I was selling, like it was gonna hold, and it did, and like
and it held up.
Yeah, I haven't had no returns. Like
that's cool, man.
Like my vendor messed up on the on the customizing of the product. And at that point, I'm just like, yo, keep it, and I'll send another one. And they're happy, and they'll write a review on Etsy. Like,
look at this guy, just a high-end entrepreneur. Well, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Hey, so one of the reasons why I wanted to have you back on the show was I was getting messages. They're like, hey, that guy that you were talking to in Las Vegas, what's his name? And I didn't want to put your name out there, right? And I don't know if you do want to get contacted, but in case people want to contact you, do you want to give out an email, or do you want them to just contact me and then I'll just kind of refer you?
No, I'm in the groups. You can search me by name. You can hit me up. Like I'm not one to hide. Like I know there's obviously when it comes to merch, obviously there's no way you can upload parodies. There's just no way.
Right. Well, if there's one advice I can give you, right? People are going to contact you for whatever reason. Now that you're on the show, because look, this podcast is a worldwide phenomenon. Okay, there's people in China that make your products probably listening, right?
Probably. Yeah.
People are going to contact you. Let me give you a little advice. Dude, they're going to ask you, they're going to plead, they're going to beg. Oh, I won't tell anyone. Can you just show me some of the stuff that you do? Don't do it, because as soon as you do, everyone in the community is going to know what the hell you're doing.
No, I know. I'm not trying. Yeah, and I'm not doing, like you said, I'm not doing anything shady.
No, he's not. But the thing is, you're in a niche, you're in a category that's very unique to what you're doing, and you want to keep it that way. You don't want to saturate it. So just a little advice from me, man. People are gonna contact you. They're like, oh man, just show it to me. I won't tell no one. They always say that, and then freaking everyone's gonna know what the hell you're doing the minute you show someone.
Yeah. It's again, like it's. I'm having fun with it. We'll see how long it goes. I mean, my main focus is to develop a brand out of all this, using as I'm building a high clientele base, my Instagram followers, like if once it reaches to a point where people are just like, oh wow, like that's so cool that you're branching off from what are you doing and just focusing on my own brand, And then from that point, I'm like, I think, it will. I hope it goes well. Like I think for the most part, like I think you just got to focus on like all these people doing Shopify stores and they're doing niche specific stuff. That's kind of the end goal for me, like getting away from Etsy eventually and just doing Shopify.
Just having your very own platform. I get it, man. I get it, man. Well, hey, thanks for being on the show. Again, Manny Pinetto. If you guys want to contact him, just look him up in the groups. I'll have your name in the title of the podcast, so that way they'll know. Dude, other than that, man, hey, let's link up. I know you're in Southern California. You're not too far from where my parents live. Dude, you and I got to link up and go down and visit Mike Wall because we need to talk to this guy.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah, I think like if I go into merch, that's probably I'm gonna put a lot of focus on local merch. Like,
I
think just because it will eliminate the keywords, the trademark. Like, I think we can. I mean, like
the whole headache of doing all. Yeah,
and not just that. Like Mike Wall said, like you can upsell them or not. I don't know if he said that, but you can upsell them on certain things. Like as a graphic designer, you can do business cards, you can do ads.
Absolutely.
Like I think it's for us. That's a good way to kind of make merch work. If you're not succeeding right now.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, thanks for being on the show, man. We'll talk soon, yeah?
For sure, man.
All right.
And thanks for having me on.
What'd you think?
Definitely one of the better and funnest and interviews I think we've done because it's just like we didn't even have questions lined up. It was just kind of like talking to him. It went
man. It was just
just seeing what he does. Didn't have success with merch. And that's how it goes, kind of like what you told them. Merch isn't easy. Everything else isn't easy, other platforms either. But find out what's working for you and build it from there.
Well, I mean, and I talked about this on the podcast, right? I mean, that adage about throw spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks. Man, and I've said this, man. I'm throwing spaghetti, freaking instant noodles, dude. I threw a turkey on the wall the other day. All it did was make a hole in the wall, but nothing's sticking. But every day I'm trying something new, right? Every day I'm hearing about what other people are doing, and I'm just trying to make figure out what's working. So so good for Manny, man. Man. Think about that, $6,000 to $10,000 a month.
Yeah, and I think with
an Etsy store.
Yeah, I think it's just the beginning for him too. I like his work. It looks super clean.
Finally saw some of the stuff that he's doing.
Yeah, it looks real good.
Right? It's good stuff, dude. I told him, man. I was like, dude, let's collaborate. Let me make a design for you. Okay, I get 70%. You keep 30%. He said no. He said no. I don't get it, but yeah, no, he's definitely doing good stuff. And again, the show was really about, look, if something doesn't work, there's other ways to make money besides merch. There's Etsy, there's Redbubble, there's print. There's Printful. You can have your own Shopify store. It goes on and on and on. And Manny just happened to be really creative and found something that works for him and is making really good money. And so definitely, guys, just want to encourage everyone to just think outside the box, right? I should take my own damn advice and think outside the box because I feel like I'm just stuck. You know what my problem is? I'm just trying to scale merch. I know I can do stuff like what he's doing, but my heart is just so focused on merch right now. It's like that's all I want to work on.
Well, I think it's good to just be focused on merch. I think now that you have more of I guess like help as far as outsourcing and everything else, I think it just comes down to like continually adding more, building it up. But at the same time, having a podcast, being in groups, answering emails, all of that also takes time from you that you could also be working on. Same thing with me, same thing with RJ and other people that are constantly putting out content. It's harder just to succeed on the platform alone. Now you're also balancing by helping other people and creating content.
Not just that. I mean, I always mention the day job as well. I mean, I got so many. Dude, that's like my number one quote, man. I always say I'm trying to balance too many projects, and it's true. I'm always trying to do too much. But my heart right now, again, is just set on trying to scale merch to the point where I'm happy. So other than that, man, hey, I'm glad you're back. You're finally working on your merch account, because people were asking, man. They were talking about you. I'm like, yo, man,
What
stop.
I like about it though is the fact that I haven't really uploaded anything in a month, and I still made $2,000 for the last 3 months. So I guess it's not. I mean,
Not
it's
bad. Not
not
bad.
bad, but at the same time, it's like we can't just leave it like $2,000 every month. It's not going to last forever unless
Right.
you keep building it up. But yeah, and also people have asked, I guess, about different. I mean, I'm still doing design packages for people. I mentioned that like in the very beginning, and I do that every week. Like I'm still getting reorders over and over and over again. So I'm still doing that, like packages of 10, 25. But as far as like, also people have asked about doing my own videos, like I had done before. So I'm gonna try to implement some other
doing your own videos,
like for YouTube, like I had done just different like monthly updates. I've done different things like that. As far as like the episode where I made like 60 grand on that one still gets so many views and makes me like a certain amount of money per month. So and what like we talked about with Manny, like I need to do a separate part of it to show you what my update is now. So I think I'm like 120,000 all time, but I need to do an update and kind of break that down. So I'll work on that next.
Okay, cool, man. But yeah, so hey, if people want to contact you, where you at again?
Hustlerhacks1@gmail.com. That's number 1, or Hustlerhacks on YouTube.
And you guys can email me at Yong, YONG, @geekhustle.com, or just, the best way is just tag me on Facebook. Tag me or send me a message.
There we go. See you next week.
Bye.